All those in favor of item number 10?
Montgomery County Council recently reached a preliminary agreement on the county's $6.7 billion fiscal year 2024 operating budget and the $5.7 billion amended FY23-28 Capital Improvements Program. Main priorities include education, housing, and economic development.
This budget, I believe, will continue moving Montgomery County forward.
This budget supports many priorities we all share. It supports teachers, public safety professionals, and public employees at a time when they're working harder than ever.
Where everyone can afford to live, work, raise a family, get the best education, and age in place.
Although the budget presented some challenges, County Council members ensured that it met the needs of the community and is fiscally sound.
So our original ask in the budget process...
Several public hearings were held to get input from residents before a final decision was made.
Number one's going to be the easiest, right?
The budget makes a historic investment in education, provides essential services for residents, and funds all collective bargaining agreements, while reducing the 10-cent property tax rate initially proposed by County Executive Mark Elrich by more than half.
But through this council's hard work, we were able to reduce while still adding more than $210 million to our school system. This is the largest increase to MCPS since before the Great Recession.
At a time when people are facing significant challenges and there are looming economic issues on the horizon, it also creates a significant structural budget deficit that we're going to have to grapple with, and that it's going to force us to make very difficult choices as we move forward.
It's incredibly hard to say no to individual programs and initiatives, many that are worthy and have potential to make positive impact in someone's life. But we have to be more realistic with the public about what services or programs the county government can actually afford.
Here's a closer look at how some funds within the budget will be allocated. Almost half of the county's total budget funds MCPS with more than $3 billion, which is an increase of 8.4% from last year's budget and a nearly 14% increase over the last two budget cycles.
School construction, we talked about. Critical. So happy we're going to move that forward.
I moved to Montgomery County because of our schools. It was one of the top priorities in my SMART agenda, which was strengthening our commitment to education.
As you know, education is key. It's something that actually we as a community, we value. So we put the money where our mouth is.
We need to get our schools back to where they were pre-pandemic. And so I'm looking at teacher pay, teacher salary.
The only way to retain the high quality of teaching that parents and residents expect for our school system is to support it.
The council fully funded Montgomery College's operating budget at $345.2 million.
Montgomery College, one of the best community colleges in the nation, and I'm so excited that we're going to see their expansion at the East County Education Center.
The council funded a budget of more than $313 million for the Montgomery County Police Department.
The class will now recite the honor code.
The police have had to look at and have started to do a $20,000 signing bonus or for a police officer to consider to come to Montgomery County. We need to be competitive. We want and have the very best employees in the United States.
The Fire and Rescue Services operating budget is $266 million, which includes 11 new positions that will enhance emergency medical services delivery. The council approved $3.2 million for the county's incubators and economic partnerships. A new fund was created this year to support small businesses. It includes more than $1.2 million to support Black and Latino-owned businesses in Montgomery County. $3.5 million was appropriated for the county's Economic Development Fund to help bring more businesses to Montgomery County. Moreover, $6 million went to fund Montgomery County's Economic Development Corporation to advance the county's economic development goals. The council funded more than $480 million for the Department of Health and Human Services, DHHS, which is an increase of almost 11% compared to last year's budget.
Well, our social safety net needs to continue to be the highest possible priority. They were really exacerbated during the pandemic, and a lot of innovation was done, and our community-based organizations, our Department of Health and Human Services, our private sector, all stepped up in a significant way to enhance the quality of health care for all residents here in Montgomery County. and it's important we keep that momentum going.
Thank you. And food insecurity continues to be a significant concern in the county. Therefore, the budget includes $6.4 million in one-time funding to continue the county's response to this need. Beautiful. The council continued its ongoing commitment to generating and preserving affordable housing.
Here in Montgomery County, we need to build 47,500 units over the next decade.
By allocating more than $77 million in funding for the Department of Housing and Community Affairs, which aims to preserve and increase the supply of affordable housing and maintain existing housing in a safe and sanitary condition. Here we go. The council funded total expenditures of more than $60 million for the Department of Recreation. The council also funded the total recommended FY24 operating budget for the Department of Public Libraries at nearly $50 million.
Ultimately, the point of this budget is to make Montgomery County into the place our residents want it to be, because our job here is to deliver those services, to put funding where we need it, to make this community be what the community wants it to be.
And it truly is an honor for me to sit up here with all of you and to work in this county. Because I know where we may disagree on certain things, I know we all agree on the goal that we are working towards and that we are all working for the residents of this county.
All of this is hard and tough decisions have to be made, but I'm pleased of what we've been able to do because I believe it puts us on a strong path forward.
The budgets will go into effect on July 1st. I'm Jordan Lindsay reporting in Rockville.